Use of price index numbers. Deflation. One of the main purpose for which index numbers are used is to convert the value of figure expressed in current value term to constant value term. Such conversion are needed to make temporal comparison, that is comparing a value based series or to define interconnected time period. Growth rate in GDP over the two period 1981, 1991 and 1991 to 2001. As we are aware, data on GDP for different sectors of the economy are annually published in National Account Statistics (NAS). They are presented for each year in current values. For converting them to a common base year, we need to employ a suitable index number. Since GDP refers to output of economy, two index number which are available on the production, that is output, by different sector of the economy and can be used for depicting the series on GDP are the wholesale price index number and index of industrial production. By using any one of these two indices, we can convert the series on GDP available in the NAS to a constant based, say 1993-94. By conversion, we mean performing of an arithmetical operation is either division or multiplication in order to change the current value series to that of the chosen base year series. We know that capital, in addition to the land and labor, is one of the three important sources of production. Also, capital expressed in terms of value needs to be deflated while making time series analysis. For this, we need an appropriate deflator. The index on the machinery and tool and the index on the gross fixed capital formation, both published in the NAS, are two indices available for deflecting the series on fixed capital. Likewise, the series on wage or emoluments can be deflated by using the index on consumer price index (CPI). The index of CPI are available separately for three classes of worker, while agricultural labor, industrial worker and urban manual worker. Depending on the class of worker for the series on wage rate, we can use the appropriate CPI index. We can also construct the index number particularly for deflecting the value of production or output by using the data published for two series, that is current and constant value series, in the NAS. We can derive the indices either as the ratio of constant to current or current to constant series. Note that while the former series so constructed will below unity, the later series will be above the value 1. This is because the current value figure are always higher than the constant value figure. Depending on which of the two series we opt to use, we either multiply or divide the nominal value series. Nominal is another name for current value series. Updating. In India, rural and urban poverty lines were determined for 1973-74 for each of the major states by an elaborating procedure. Since consumption distribution data is available at current prices, say 1993-94 and 1999 to 2000, poverty lines have to be updated to this year so that percentage of people below poverty line could be ascertained. One has to find relative cost of consumption of the families below the poverty line living in 1973-74. A number of experiments were carried out using National Wholesale Price Index and National Consumption Price Index, which do not differentiate between rural and urban. Finally, it was argued that for updating rural poverty line, state level consumer price index number should be used. Again, Under various schemes, below poverty line are provided various types of support. A family was considered poor if it had annual income below rupees 6,400 at one point of time, but 11,000 at another point of time. 60 times of poverty line can be taken as annual family poverty line because family size is around 5 and poverty line is reckoned in terms of a month. Price level of commodities in consumption basket and rising by say 80% in the rural areas. Surely poor do belong to non-agricultural labor household as well, but only consumption price index of agricultural labor was used, for there was no better option. Consequent upon minimum wage legislation, government declares minimum wage for labor. This minimum wage have to be raised for time to time so that laboring people are not put to additional hardship. The threshold limit of investment for small scale industry show that such a unit could avail credit from certain institutions and could get other concessional is changed. From time to time, price level is the factor. Use of appropriate index will be very useful in the above said situation. Indexation of wage and determination of dearness allowance. Particularly since the Second World War, collective bargaining between the trade union and employees had led to agreement that workers' salary should not be cut in real terms. This means that they have to be adequately compensated for price rise, which affect their purchasing power. World over, one or other, the price index is used to determine the amount of dearness allowance and dearness pay. Legitimate demand raised due to family needs, efficiency of employees concerned, or rise in productivity are beside the point. Even these enhancements have to be ensured in real terms. Different industries make use of one of the official indices which is appropriate for the city or region, or develop their own price index. Consumer price index for industrial worker is used for indexation of wage and determining the amount of dearness allowances being paid to millions of employees of the central or state government. It is also used in fixation and revision of minimum wage in schedule of employment. It has therefore implications for public exchequer. Similarly, for determining the amount of dearness allowances to urban and non-manual employees so as to offset the impact of price rise, consumer price index for urban non-manual employees is used. In every January and July, a new DA rate is declared. Users of this index are many state government of Karnataka, Sikkim and Meghalaya, and various private public sector undertaking agencies. Companies use the CPI UNME index for these purposes. It can be used for price escalation purposes in respect of contract. It is used by the Central Board of Direct Taxes for computing advance tax liability of taxpayer from capital gain. Revision of pay. The government sets up a pay commission after 10 or 12 years. After a certain level of price rise take place, it is understood that pay structure has gone out of sync. While current pay is protected, say be dearness allowance, the component such as provident fund linked with the basic pay remain fixed. An attempt is made to reduce the number of scales or reduce the differentials, sometimes even to do otherwise by using the price index number. This cast a ripple effect on state, on the bank and on other institutions such as universities, hospitals, etc. Here, as well as in earlier cases, various associations, employees association, and trade unions use argument based on price indices if they dismisses and blame them for defect. Parity. Term of the trade can often be studied in terms of price indices. In US, for example, they calculate index of prices paid by farmers and index of prices received by farmers. In our economic survey to the government of India publishes index of manufactured product and index of agricultural product, which are both component of the wholesale price index and gives the ratio of 2. How the parity is changing between the two could be an interesting question. At some point, people suggest resources should move from agriculture to industry. Today, we hold the opposite view. An economist of repute deflated the current price series of production in agriculture and manufacturing by the same deflator to study this kind of problem. Inflation and policy initiatives. Inflation is measured in two ways: between successive period and between a week, month, quarter in this year and same week, month, quarter in the previous year. The purpose is to avoid seasonal impact on prices. Woolen cloth would not be dearer in summer and mango will be cheaper in summer. Annual average are used in the former cases, but in the case of weekend or month end or average month price index could be used. Both are, however, measured in of inflation. A big divergence between the two may suggest one to study the phenomenon in depth. General price rise may have one kind of policy implication, while study of differential between components may help government in devising sectoral policies. Study of differential in component of a price index will help one to look for what has caused it. However, decline in particular prices is due to export, import, or rise in domestic production or peculiar factor changing demand supply pattern or price rise, decline of raw materials or wage rate. Index number, apart from enabling us to know average change in price relative, are also used to study on depression of price relative to shape of frequency distribution of price relative. 3. Alteration or displacement in the relative position. 4. Relation between changes in price with change in quantity. 5. Relationship between change in volume of purchases or production with change in price. Consumer price index, elasticity of demand or supply. 6. Frequency with which different price change, and 7. Magnitude of price change with change